Studio. First of all, it will take some time to up. So during that we now this is Anypoint Studio. It's a wrapper on the Eclipse environment. It's an Eclipse type of base is an Eclipse, so it's the same like Eclipse kind of feature. We also need a Postman, so I'm just starting the Postman tool also. So we have both Anypoint Studio and Postman. Postman for calling the API, so we will use in the calling of API. Anypoint Studio will start. It's in a like Anypoint Studio you can download from the MuleSoft enterprise website. You could just go over there and fill some basic details, and you can have a download of the Anypoint Studio. They will provide free of cost. But in the Anypoint Studio there is a runtime, that's an enterprise runtime. If you need a community version of enterprise that runtime, you need to have a download the separate community version and embed into the Mule Anypoint Studio. This is Postman will going up. We will switch to Anypoint Studio. It's in a my system is slightly busy, so it will take us some time because I'm running a lot of stuff over here and my system is not capable of that much. So this is an Anypoint Studio when you look, it's a similar kind of stuff in Eclipse environment. So when you see, this is an package explorer where you can see the how the projects is look like, the folder structure, how the structure will look like, and there you can see the folder structure and all this stuff. Here it's a new and all this things, source, the refactoring, navigation, search, projects, how to build and run and all this stuffs, windows. These are the basic in the as per the Eclipse environment. The main thing in the preferences, you can see that there is a lot of stuff over here, and this is we are running in the Mule design perspective. So it will show over there is a perspective, different perspective, Mule design, Mule debug perspective. When we started debugging in the Mule is Anypoint Studio, it's a switch to the debug perspectives. And there is a Java perspective. If you want to develop some application in Java, then it's a switch to the Java perspective. These part as per Mule property, any property of the particular, and the problems, if there is some warning and some error, it will show over here. Console run over here, progress, it will show how much is running. Mule debugger, when we are debugging the API, this is not required. This is a console. It will show summary of the configuration of particular connector we are selected. MUnit, it will for use for testing of the Mule flow. MUnit, that's provided by MuleSoft itself. So let's start. First of all, when we start some projects, like new projects, Mule project, we have to start one project. After that I will explain you what are the different component, other components. Let's take a demo 1. Demo 1, this is the name of the projects. Here it will show the runtime of Mule. This right now we are using Mule Server 3 8.1 enterprise edition. These sign is in a cloud and on-premises edition. Here is an explanation. If you want to manage the projects, we have to provide the artifacts and name of the group ID and artifact ID and a version of that, and the version control. If we want to control a version through the GitHub, in that case through the Git, in that case we have to create the Git ignore file, and API kit settings. These are needed when we will see in the detail after, because if you want to create an application using the RAML specifications, then we need this in these options. So just click on finish. It will configure some default settings over there, setting some paths and all the stuffs. So let's see, this is our demo 1 project. So once the project is up, you can see this is a architecture of like package architecture of any normal Mule project. So you can see there's an src man ape, that's in a flow. main application flow, where you find the demo1.xml. These are the main XML, their property files, and some deployment properties file that need in the deployments. And there is an API, Java, resource, visual, same Java kind of structure. This is the same as per Java. These are libraries attached. This is a Mule server libraries on some projects detail XML. This is in a projects, basic projects detail. We will see in detail if we have a did. And here I will want to show these things when we have a build projects. In that case, we can see the mule palettes. Here is a different kind of things. Connector, one is a connector. These are the connector FTP database. These connect using these lot of connector over there in the market, or some of the defaults connector. Using these connector, we can connect like Salesforce database, different system we can connect. These are pre-built connectors, so this is easy to use. And second thing is a scope. These are scope means like how the flow is work and all these stuffs. How, if you want to repeat, there is a subflow or some kind of components are there that we will use. And this is the components, main components. These are processing components we will use in the Mule, so that we can we don't need to do some programming. It will automatically do their stuffs, like echo, flow reference. These are the scope components, like Java components, the logger components which will log, and Python REST. We can have Python component, we can write a Python script. Validation component, we can validate the data and all the stuffs. After that, there is a transformer. These are the key part in the Mule ESB. These are transformer from one data format to another data format. We can transfer from byte to MIME and other data. In this transformer, we have a data view also. These data views in a message transformer. That's a powerful component. This is the transform message, reference. These are the transformers. So these are very crucial part. These are filters. We can filter the data through using these filter. These are different kind of filter, custom filter and some inbuilt filter. These are flow controls. These flow control we can use throughout the design of the Mule application, so we can control the flow of the application. Error handling, these are exception handling part. We can handle the exception, choice exceptions. There are different kind of exception handling strategies, so we can use this strategy according to our requirement of the application. These are some security applications. So security part is basically we can use OAuth provider modules or some. These are mostly paid kind of connectors we can use to encrypt, decrypt our data, and use some authentication mechanism, protocols or filters. So these are the whole thing in the this Anypoint Studio. So let's we have some quick demo of the build some light application, so we can see that how it will work. First of all, most of application go through the HTTP connector. We can take an HTTP connector, it automatically drag a one flow. We can have alternate options. We just delete it. We can have you can see this is a flow. Actually, flow of main thing is, first of all, take one flow element. This is the flow. Main thing is in the flow. There is a two part, source and resource, and there is an error handling, exception handling section. So source part, where we getting the inputs. This is source part. HTTP connector, we put an HTTP connector in the source part, so that we can take an HTTP request from the external systems. So this is the HTTP connector. This is an inbuilt connector, so we don't need much programming over here to get a request and response from HTTP. We just drag and drop and do some configuration. First of all, these are the configuration. These are default configuration, local host, all the interface, and this is the port and base URI if you want to set base path. So we just host on 8182 8181. So we just paste some path, demo is in a path we can set, or allowed method. These are the HTTP method. We just put a get method only. We can restrict only get, post, or any other method. It's depend on our requirements. So these are the allowed method of HTTP. After that, we just take some simple element, set payload. This is an element we can set a payload. So here we just set a payload. Hi, I am Ranveer. Me. This is sample payload. We just said this is a application we have completed. We can put as one logger so we can see that what are the payload over there. Logger in the logger there we can print a payload. Now we just right click over here and run our projects. Project will start running and it will show in the console this step by step information. You will see that what is step it's forming in the background. It will run in the background. There's a demo application default, domain is default and deployed. This is showing that application is running. We can now just fall through the postman, start the postman, go over there in the postman, just type as http localhost 8081 demo and hit the send. This is the output we are expecting. This is the output we can see. Now we switch to the Anypoint Studio. We can see what they are printing over there. We have a logger, so in the logger we have just printed the payload, so we can see that there is a payload. Hi, I am Ranvi. So it's a very simple application is running. That's a get method. You if you want to get some data from if you want some expose some application to the third party, want to share some data, you can expose through this. This is a sample application. This is very easy to develop an application in MuleSoft. Thank you guys. This is at all. If you won't have any questions, you can just ask me or drop a mail, or you can just ask the IQ so that they can forward to me. That's all. Thank you very much.